Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Final Fantasy II. Yes, we've acquired the Ultima Tome and gained the Ultima Magic, but at a cost. But it's a terrible cost, we lost Minwu, but now it's finally time to test that out. Oh yes, I got a good feeling about this. The Ultima Magic against the Ultima enemies. These health drainy sugar me doos. But yeah, I mean, Maria's flare is going on pretty good. Yep, fire damage, also well against him. And Ultima? That was fucking piddly. It was really just like a rain spell going, I'll harm you. And yeah, you might be wondering why the Ultima Tome is so pathetic. Well, let me dig into a bit of Final Fantasy II development trivia, because this was no mistake. Yes, indeedy, Ultima was intentionally designed to be underwhelming, which was meant to play into the idea of, the fact that it was locked away, eons ago as a means of sealing hell, is because once at a point in time it was in fact the ultimate magical spell, but the idea is that, the developers wanted to have the idea that magic evolved past Ultima, in terms of, its abilities and what it can do, so that, well, again, unless you practice with it, it's not really gonna do much of anything, really, so... yeah, Ultima ends up basically being a bit of a joke spell, and despite being the ultimate magic, it's not really all that useful, as you can plainly see. But that being said though, what I guess is also meant to be the trick with Ultima is that again, I can't really tell if it's existing in the same whole mythology of like, oh, use the magical crystals that give you instant knowledge of magic to use it at its full power or whatever, but yeah, the idea with Ultima is that you're meant to practice with it. I mean, again, these kids are still learning how to use this sort of stuff compared to, other Final Fantasy protagonists that have, like, magical crystals to teach them what these spells do, or, specific roles and jobs that, gradually teach them how to utilize their magical abilities. In Final Fantasy II's case, it's, well, learn by doing, and, yes, indeedy, as you're going to be seeing even a little bit later into this video, yeah, the more that you level up Ultima, the more potent it becomes as a spell. And, well, the more it will upgrade from its paltry little position that it is right now. One thing I will say is that Ultima is by far one of the most difficult spells to level up in the game, so you're gonna be at it for quite a while, but it is well worth it because it is a very powerful spell, and, well, I mean, even as it starts to get towards its middle levels right here, you're gonna be seeing that, yeah, it is gradually starting to beef up a little bit. It's just that, well, we need a bit more time to, really eke out our experience with it. I mean, as you'll be seeing right here. See, we are starting to get, like, a little bit of an aura effect on it. We're gradually getting there. But again, it is well worth your time to level up your ultimate spell, because, I mean, again, it is well worth it, unleashing the ultimate power upon your enemies, but... yeah, that's pretty much the short and sweet of, what the developers of Final Fantasy II really wanted for Ultima, and... well... I would say I'm a little bit mixed on that, because, I mean, on the one hand it does sort of make sense, but by that same token, though, a lot of the spells that you do see in this game, I mean, apart from maybe some of the, passive buffs of white magic, it doesn't really seem like a lot of other things have changed since Final Fantasy I, really, and even then, that's a whole different universe, so... yeah, I mean, it's either a whole different universe, or eons have passed since Ultima would have been a thing, or did exist, or did not exist, so... yeah, I mean, it kind of comes across as a wee bit, odd of a choice, really. Again, it's probably more something that you really need to sort of delve into the mythology to really sort of get the most out of, or maybe it was something that just didn't really make the cut in terms of getting that info in the game, but... yeah, I mean, to kind of talk turkey about future Final Fantasy games, they do very much play it up in a more of a legit sense of it being, well, the ultimate magical spell, in the Final Fantasy universe, really. So, yeah, Ultima was played straight in later games. This one was meant to be a subversion, even though it was the first game that it really sort of appeared in, and only gets better as you practice, so it's not really much of a subversion, but more practice makes perfect, so... yeah, I mean, again, if there was ever a topic for a broken Aesop, Ultima being useless is, well, an Aesop that's broken if I ever heard one. But yeah, as you're also seeing with some of the changing enemy dynamics, yeah, a lot of the bees and hornets and creatures that you would have seen otherwise, like goblins and, leg eaters, yeah, they're persona non grata, and now they're taken up by the Emperor's forces who feel free to roam the land and, pretty much give it all this. I suppose this is very much our late game, oh no, the powerful enemies are out, so you better get your shit ready, because otherwise, the Emperor's coming to collect. But in any case, as we defeat this final soldier, you might be noticing another little thing as we're seeing right here. Yes, the town of Altair, and indeed the town of Galtria. We can no longer enter these places, and they've been completely destroyed. How is this possible when we completely knocked out the Dreadnought? Well, yeah, there are also a few other places destroyed if you decide to visit these towns, but yes, as we return to Castle Finn, just take a good look behind you. Yes, indeed. Severe weather patterns on the warning because, yeah. Can't exactly go inside this giant cyclone, but needless to say, severe weather warnings ahead and the storm is headed for you! So, batten down the hatches and, yeah, get ready. Everyone's dead. So yeah, just when you get the ultimate magic and find out that it's not quite as useful until you train it up, yeah, you don't exactly have time to train it up because a giant fucking cyclone summoned by the Emperor has come to destroy everybody. And just like me in this situation, they're pretty much going, oh god, fuck this, I'm going to sleep. Isn't that always the way? I want to be asleep at the end of the world, falling asleep while they're dropping the bombs. This is all a dream, that's what I'll be saying.
When the storm kicked up and the ship went down, I got separated from you. I thought you were dead for sure. It's good to be wrong every now and then. The Emperor's foul magic can control even the winds. Poft, Paloom, Altair, Galtria, each was destroyed in turn. And now the cyclone is headed for Finn. The Emperor himself is controlling the cyclone, I've no doubt. Long ago, we summoned wyverns by reflecting the light of the pendant off the castle's mirror. The ultimate magic is in our hands, but what good does it do us? The cyclone will kill us before we even have a chance to use it. Unless we sprout wings and learn to fly, I don't see how we can get into that cyclone.
So yes, indeedy, this pretty much is part of the reason why we needed to get the Wyvern. That's, yeah, it's now time to pay the piper and call it with our abrupt summons. But yes, Ricard, a Dragoon, and a Wyvern, reunited at last. Ah, continuity. But, yeah, this is a bit of a sweet scene, but a rather necessary one to get us to where we need to go, in finally tackling the Emperor's dreaded superweapon, the Cyclone. So, let's stand in awe of this momentous occasion. So yeah, we do technically have the Wyvern in our possession if we enter battle. Again, you'll be seeing it a little bit later in the next part, but yeah, needless to say, the Wyvern is our little buddy. But let's go talk to Paul.
Even if we had an army of you, it wouldn't help us this time. How can we fight a cyclone? You're planning on going into that thing? You do realize that's insane, right? Tell you what, I've been keeping a few things stashed away, and I want you to have them. Try feeling around the wall near my bed.
Now, big word of warning for anybody playing Final Fantasy II and wants to have a really piss-easy time with the final boss. Make sure that you talk to Paul before you enter the cyclone, because if you don't, you won't get access to a secret treasure stash, and yeah, as we're going to be seeing right here, after we raid all of his stuff, as we can see right in this chest here, we get the Blood Sword. Something that I'm going to be equipping Furion with, mainly to give him a little bit something extra to upgrade, but in turn, well, yeah, the Blood Sword has a very useful ability, because again, you remember those skeletons, revenants, and other zombie enemies that pretty much, you know, take off health from you and then add it to theirs? Well, the Blood Sword gives you that ability, so again, you can pretty much slash enemies down, take their health and add it to yours, which, again, makes it a great alternative to, you know, utilizing Cure Magic, but in turn, it is also one of the most potent weaknesses against the final boss. So much so that, as you're going to be seeing in a bonus video, you can actually take him down in like 3 hits. But, again, that's something you'll be seeing, you know, right at the end of the commentary. Again, I mean, in lieu of not really being able to cover the Dawn of Souls or, you know, Soul of Rebirth kind of stuff for Final Fantasy II, yeah, that's probably about the best thing I can really show off, but, Quest, really. The salient point I want to make is that this is your one and only opportunity to get the Blood Sword, and if you don't happen to get in time, well, I mean, again, if you have Ultima upgraded pretty well, you can still do a decent chunk of damage against the final boss and, you know, threats coming your way, but at the same time, though, you're going to be having a bit of a harder challenge. So, again, I'm technically not going to be using the Blood Sword against the final boss, despite the fact that I went out of my way to get it. It was really something for me to more show off in a bonus video, because, yeah, I mean, the Blood Sword can be an easy thing to miss, and something you might not even know about, unless, of course, you were, you know, doing research in Final Fantasy II. But, yeah, I missed out on the Blood Sword on my first couple of playthroughs, so yeah, that's part of the reason why I sort of wanted to pick it up and show it off for all it's worth. Even if it's just for the bonus video, really. But yeah, a giant cyclone terrorizing the world, and again, as you heard Hilda and Gordon mention, you know, Poft, Plume, Galtria, Altair, fair chunk of the world has been kind of destroyed, actually, and that's, yeah. I mean, again, it does further go to show the Emperor's power, and again, I know I'm not going to make any Star Wars jokes again, but I mean, it kind of makes me feel like people only played like 5 minutes into the game. It's like, oh, Dreadnought super weapon, that must be the Death Star. You know, not realizing that, you know, the Emperor of this game has a fucking elemental cyclone that he uses. I mean, again, like, I mean, where in Star Wars did, you know, Emperor Palpatine summon a fucking cyclone on, you know, Han Solo or whatever? I mean, that's... I don't know. Just paltry criticisms, people only playing 5 minutes of a game and then all of a sudden deciding they're fucking experts on the whole thing. I don't fucking know. Either way, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on the Final Fantasy II commentary, well, we're gonna enter a cyclone, and in the eye of the storm, the Emperor is waiting for us.